Ryan Knows Tech here with TechInform.us, and we've got a really good request video that I did actually about a year ago. There's been a lot of hardware changes and software changes since then. A lot of new people have come to the channel. I thank you. So I thought I'd go over some of the things that have changed with the subject. The subject being which portable Mac is best for you. The comment, or the request was to which Mac in general is best for you, and I thought I might as well break it down into two videos between mobile Macs and non-mobile Macs. Mobile including MacBook, MacBook Pro, and the MacBook Air, and the non-mobile series, of course, including the Mac Mini, the iMac, and the Mac Pro. So that'll probably be tomorrow's video or Thursday, Friday, who knows. Could even be pushed to next week depending on what happens. I've got tons of requests sitting in my request folder, and the problem is a lot of those require, a lot of them are app reviews and stuff like that, and I can't wait to film them. It's very difficult for me to film that because it's the Flip can't do it. The iPhone, I don't have a stand for that, plus it makes massive video files. The focus is good though. And then I have a Logitech webcam that doesn't work with my Mac or my PC in Windows XP, Vista 7, OS 10.5, or 10.6. I don't know why. So anyways, let's start out with the MacBook. This is Apple's cheapest laptop. The Mac Mini is actually the cheapest computer. I believe it's like $8.99, $7.99. It's pretty cheap, but that's because it doesn't have a screen, mouse, keyboard, anything. It's just an aluminum box full of pretty awesome chips. So the MacBook, as I said, their cheapest laptop, it's about $1,000. This unit will be in for a recycle, meaning that now is not the best time in the world to be buying a MacBook. It should be refreshed in the next couple of months, I think. I'm not a huge MacBook follower, but it's been a while since it was last refreshed, so I would keep an eye out and not purchase one until they're updated. But right now, we're going to make do with the specs that they've got, which are by no means bad, but they will be updated. Cons with the MacBook. We'll start out on the negative side. I usually don't do that, but we will here, and you've probably already seen. It's made of plastic instead of the aluminum. It's really high-quality plastic, though. It feels really good. It's nice, glossy. If you've got an Apple wireless keyboard, it's pretty much that same stuff on the back of that, or, let me check, yes, the Magic Trackpad as well. It's relatively high quality. It looks nice, but not as nice as the aluminum. So let's get into some specs. I believe it's a tad thicker than the MacBook Pro, which is about 0.95 inches. This is just over 1, so definitely not fat, definitely not heavy at 4.7 pounds, just a little bit bulkier, and I really do mean a little bit. It's almost unnoticeable than the MacBook Pro. You've got a 2.4 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo processor. It's an awesome processor. Gigahertz bus and 2 gigs of RAM comes as standard. Not enough. You need at least 4 gigs in this machine, and that's going to cost you, I believe, $200 to get it up to 4 gigs. Might be $100 by now. When I was looking, it was about $200. We'll click buy it now and try it and look at it. But this machine is going to do a stellar job for work, just like email. You can even do somewhat more on the basic side. Video editing on here. You're not going to be wanting to use Final Cut and iMovie every day producing 1080p files. You can do it, it just won't work as well as the MacBook Pro. The 4 gigabyte of RAM upgrade is $100, so that's well worth it. But great machine. You're losing some connectivity, and the Intel Core 2 Duo processors are very quickly going out of date. So I would recommend waiting till the upgrades. What do I think they're going to see in the upgrades? I think we're going to see i3s, maybe i5s in here. Definitely be dual core. It would be nice to see the same option found in the baseline MacBook Pro, the 13-inch, which is a 2.3, I believe, gigahertz Intel Core i5, stellar processor. And that would be nice to see in here, but we may see like a 2.4 or 2.5 i3. Who knows? It's going to be a dual core. It'll be better on performance and battery life than the current Core 2 Duo. So the MacBook is definitely a go. However, if you have the money, and we're only talking about $300 here to upgrade, I highly recommend getting the MacBook Pro. You've got tons more options here between screen sizes 13, 15, and 17, noting that the 17 inches is $2,500. But you've got a lot more options when it comes to accessibility. Well, that too. But specifications in general. Between the screen sizes, you get totally different specs. I mean, you can get a 13-inch for $11.99, and you can pimp a 17-inch out to like $3,500. So we'll go into the tech specs again, as we do in Mac fashion here on this beautiful tech spec layout page. And you're going to see, we'll start with the 13-inch. 13 inch is preferably personally my favorite size of laptop. It's really thin, it's really easy to carry around, it's really light. The 15-inch to me feels way too bulky. I don't like the way it looks with the speakers on the side. However, it's without a doubt superior to the MacBook Pro 13 when it comes to power. The MacBook Pro 13 in comparison is really quite underpowered with only 2 cores of 2.3 gigahertz in the i5 form of the Intel Core i series processors with 3 megs of level 3 cache. So definitely no slacker, but not as much compared to an i5. This is going to do a great job with any video editing that you want to do. The problem with the 13-inch is the screen's small and the resolution's bad. Well, boom, easy fix, buy a monitor. That's what I've got. My MacBook Pro is awesome. I have a 13-inch, the older generation. I carry it all over the place, around school, everywhere around town. Anywhere I need to go, come home, sit on my desk, plug in the MagSafe, plug in my Blue Snowflake microphone and some speakers and a monitor, and there we are in 1080p. It's beautiful. Tons of power. I've got 8 gigs of RAM in mine. If you've got the money, 8 gigs is definitely a nice upgrade. It really improves performance. If you really do have the money, though, and you're trying to pack it on here, go with 16 gigs, because I can still max 8 gigs without a problem with a couple Photoshop documents open. So 13-inch is excellent. Hard drives, doesn't even matter. You're not going to see a huge difference between 5400 RPM and 72. I went with the 72. Definitely no battery problems there. I know that's a big thing. 7 hours battery life. That's the same in the MacBook, actually. The 15-inch is where the wow button comes in. This is insane. You've got 4 cores of 2 or 2.2 gigahertz, and there's also a 2.3 gigahertz option available with 8 megabytes of level 3 cache. These are all Core i7s. Incredible performance. I've used these in the stores. They're awesome. The graphics card, I should mention the 13-inch MacBook and the 13-inch MacBook Pro have the more basic graphics cards, which are in the Intel HD Graphics 3000. They've got 384 megs of DDR3 RAM, which is good. Probably better than the one that I'm using right now from NVIDIA. I believe it's the 320 mobile, but these are nuts. The 15-inch, they still have the Intel HD 3000. That's what you're just going to use when you're browsing the web. But push the turbo button when you want to do some video exporting or whatever is graphics intensive. It's going to use more power, but it's a crap ton faster. You've got AMD Radeon HD 6490 mobile, 256 meg of DDR or GDDR5. That's on your 2 gigahertz configuration. On the 2.2 and 2.3, you're going to get the AMD Radeon HD 6750 mobile with a gigabyte of GDDR5 memory. So that graphics power is astronomical. I've used it. It is a very powerful machine. Should also mention that all the MacBook Pros have FireWire 800. MacBook still has gigabit Ethernet. And then you get Thunderbolt, which is up to 10 gigabits. Not too much using that right now, but maybe in the future it'll become more possible or more I guess, popular. You can also get an anti-glare display. Not my thing. I was thinking about making a video about it. Anti-glare to me, it just looks a lot cheaper. It looks more PC-ish, but I guess some people like it. So the 15-inch is an incredible powerhouse. It's relatively expensive, but you're getting incredible specifications here. I mean, your resolution's 1440 by 900, which is good. So that'll be better for designing on the go if you want to use just your laptop display. The 17-inch is where this thing really shines. It's outlandish performance. I mean, to me, it's almost unnecessary. Just the kind of performance that you can get in both this and the 15-inch. It's nuts. You pretty much have the same options with a bigger display. I've seen the 17-inch MacBook Pros. It's just too big. I mean, if you're going to get something that big, I would recommend an iMac. You can get more power, or you will be able to when those are updated, in an iMac. So your 17-inch MacBook Pro at $2,499 is almost stupid to buy, in my opinion. When you can go out and get a 21.5-inch iMac, it's not going to be as fast, though. I mean, 2.2 gigahertz Core i7 quad core with 6 megs of level 3 cache, and then you can get that same 2.3 quad core i7 as in the 15-inch MacBook Pro. It's just crazy. You've got 3 USBs here, you same Thunderbolt, gigabit Ethernet, MagSafe, Kensington Express, all that good stuff. 7 hours of battery life, almost overkill, I would say. If you're looking for a MacBook Pro, I love the 13, but the 15 is really where it's at with the newer, the better processors, much better performance, better graphics cards. If you've got the money, go with that, but you're definitely not going to be disappointed with the 13-inch. So that's something to keep in mind. Now for the ultimate portable user, and I would love to have one of these. I've really been thinking about it. It's the new MacBook Air. The original MacBook Air came out in 2007. It was the world's thinnest laptop. Well, that didn't last long. I think Asus or somebody came along and tried to be smart, and they probably removed the screen and the keyboard, and they made a thinner computer. Well, Apple's back into the game here. I don't think it's the thinnest computer anymore, but it's really thin. I have used tons of these in the stores. I've been in a lot of Apple stores. They have them all over the place, and I really like it. My only complaint about it is they removed the backlit keyboard, which I've become very accustomed to on my 13-inch MacBook Pro. So not having the backlit keyboard on the MacBook Air would be just a bit of a negative for me, but I think I could force myself to get around it. Starts at $1,000, which for a computer of this size, I guess, seems a little high. But it really isn't. The old MacBook Air, I believe, was significantly more expensive. You've got two screen sizes, 11-inch, which you could pretty much fit in your shirt pocket, and 13 inches, which you might have to put in your back pocket, but it's still incredibly portable. You're going to find a 1366 by 768 16 by 9 aspect ratio display on your 11-inch, and then the 13-inch, I believe, is 1280 by 720. Probably help to take a look at this. Actually, I read that wrong. I have to apologize. The 11-inch is 1366 by 768, and it looks like the 13-inch is 1440 by 900, which is higher resolution than the MacBook Pro 13-inch. Some more cons, I guess, with the MacBook Air is it's a little bit underpowered. But keep in mind, this is something so portable and almost as freaking thin as an iPad. You can carry it about anywhere. You've got a 1.4 and a 1.6 gigahertz Intel Core 2 Duo. It's only an 800 megahertz bus with 2 gigs of RAM, 4 gig maximum. So the RAM's going to be a problem. The processors are probably going to bottleneck being slower Core 2 Duos, even with 3 megs of cache and a slower bus speed. And then these are all flash storage, which definitely cuts down on size and weight and heat, and it's going to help you in battery life. And you've got 64 gigs or 128 gigs of storage on the 11-inch, and I believe the 13-inch can go up to 256 gig. Let's see if I'm correct in saying that. Right, 128 or 256. So it depends. You know, you need to go play with one. Go to the store, go see which one looks big enough for you if you want the 11-inch or the 13-inch model. Both are relatively underpowered compared to the MacBook Pros, but for something this small, the 1.8 or the 2.1 gigahertz processors in the 13-inch model are going to be fine. You've got the 320M graphics, which my MacBook Pro has, and I'll tell you they're excellent. They're not as good as, of course, the new models, or the newest models, but it's definitely on par to export in 1080p once a day. I can do a 10-minute video in just about 20 minutes, so it's not too bad. Really thin, really well built, only that backlit keyboard and not enough RAM, and in some people's cases maybe not enough disk space or processor power. But the MacBook Air is definitely a contender. For me, it's always going to be the MacBook Pro. I think my next model is going to have to be a 15-inch. Ultimately, I'd like to have a Mac Pro on my desk and a MacBook Air in my pocket, but that would be a little expensive, so maybe we'll look for something else as far as I go. But if you have any questions about any of these portable Macs, why didn't I talk about the iPad? I know somebody's going to ask me that. Well, that's because it's not a Mac. It's an iOS device that can pretty much do anything the Mac can do these days with iMovie and GarageBand on it. But depends who you are. Don't ask me the question that some people think I can answer. Which Mac should I get? I don't know you. I don't know where you want to take it, and I don't know what you want to do with it, and I don't know how much money's in your bank account. And if I did, I'd transfer it to mine. So I recommend, as I said, going into the Apple Store and looking at each one and looking at the prices and checking your wallet a couple times and making sure that you pick the right one that's best for you. You know, I can't tell you what's best for you. I don't know you. So figure out what kind of performance you're going to need. Chances are, if you're over 2.5 gigahertz, you're looking at a very powerful machine, and that goes for dual cores. Quad cores, if you're over 1.8, which all of the Macs are, you're looking at a very powerful machine. The only non-powerful Mac is really the 11-inch MacBook Air, and the 11-inch MacBook Air is meant to do Safari and Mail and stuff like that. It'll still do a 720p video that's 5 minutes and about 20-25 minutes in my tests, and that SSD really helps. But they're all awesome, guys. Just go play with one and let me know which one you chose. So thanks for watching the video. If you like the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We've got tons more videos coming just like this. Our technology blog here is techinform.us. We've got a lot a lot of new posts up all the time. Be sure to check that out. My personal Twitter is twitter.com/JamesRSchultz. The business Twitter is twitter.com/TechInformalist. The links are down below. And then on Tuesday nights, like I will in just about an hour and 36 minutes, we host a live web show on ustream.tv/user/TechInformalist. Again, all of those links are found down below this video. Again, thanks for watching. Like the video, comment, and I'll talk to you guys in tomorrow's. Bye-bye.